the line is drawn and understanding the difference between confidence and humility, this episode is for you. So my name is Bjorn Dafredi, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Also know that I love comments, so please share your opinions on what I discuss. All right, so confidence and humility. And then there's cockiness, and then there's arrogance. There's all of these words, and sometimes for a young Christian, and by a young Christian, I don't mean a young person. I mean someone who is young in the faith, in the Christian faith. Sometimes, you're not sure about the line. Like, am I being proud right now? Am I just being confident in who I am and all of that? So I'm going to share a few things so I can keep this video short, and then I will refer you to a certain resource that will help you in your journey if you are someone who you're young in the faith, or you've recently deconstructed, or you grew up in the church and you're just coming into that place where you are finding God for yourself. You're understanding your relationship with God on a personal level. All right, so there's a healthy Christian perspective. And the healthy Christian perspective is not that you should not believe in yourself. It is that you should understand the source of your ability. And I think this is where people may get confused. And so in this book, it's called Lead Me Past This Lies. I wrote a couple of years ago, and it's available on my site. It's available on Amazon and all of the works. I talk about the line as the Holy Spirit showed me, right? And so back to what a healthy Christian perspective would be. It would not be do not believe in yourself. It would rather be understanding the true source of your ability. Like, where does your ability come from? So many Christians, right, may feel like for them to be truly Christian, that they have to pretend that they did not work hard, or they have to pretend that they don't have the skill. And that's why sometimes when somebody comes out to maybe share a testimony, they're telling a story, they're just like, oh, God did it, God did it, God did it. And there's some people that are listening, they're like, okay, so what did you do? What did you have in place that when God pushed it forward, some things were already set in place, right? So we as Christians are called to recognize who our source is. We're not called to deny whatever skill was polished or whatever work was done, right? The glory goes to God, but the work, the prep, the relationships that were built, all of that has to be recognized. The years that you put into school, you put it into school, like you did it, right? So we're not taking that away from you. Or as a Christian, you're not supposed to take that away. But just understanding that you have been given gifts. Your time is a gift. You did not gift yourself time. You were given time. But how you steward the time is what now culminates into you getting your degree. So I'm using that as an example right now, so it's easy to understand. So where is the line between pride, between fake humble? And, I've talked about this in the past. I have a video on, fake humility. So where's the line between pride, fake humility, and then godly humility? So pride would say, I did this all by myself. I did this all by myself, no help from anyone, nothing. So when I hear people say self-made, I'm like, no. You need to break that down and let the people know what you mean, right? They need to know what you mean, right? So pride says, I did this all by myself. Fake humble or fake humility says, I am nothing and I did nothing, right? And then godly humility says, God gave me the ability and I used it faithfully. And that's where a faithful steward comes in. God gave me the ability and then I used it faithfully. God gave me the ability. God gave me time and then I used it faithfully. God gave me people. He put people in my life and I used those relationships faithfully, or I stewarded it faithfully. God gave me a body, and then I stewarded my body faithfully. God gave me partners, and then I stewarded that faithfully. God gave me money, and then I stewarded that faithfully. So godly humility recognizes that you are a steward. There are things that you've been giving, just the way God would give us a tree. And out of a tree, we can make chairs, we could make furniture, we could make beautiful carvings. But He gave us the tree. We didn't create the tree. He gave that to us, right? So that's an example that I thought would resonate for some. So what do you have that you have not received? And there's Bible for this. 1 Corinthians 4:7 says, what do you have that you did not receive? And if you received it, why do you boast as though you did not? And that's for those who refuse to acknowledge how God is their source. Why do you pretend that you have not received something from God? Why do you pretend that the air that you breathe is not from God? Who gave that to you, right? So these are some of the examples that I believe would resonate in your heart as you ponder this situation. And remember what I said at the beginning. If this is a question that has come up in your life, right, and you've just been thinking like, how do I know I'm not being proud? How do I know I'm not? This is going to help you. So I want you to chew on this Bible verse, 1 Corinthians 4:7, right? So the question is, and I'm going to leave you with this question as you meditate on this topic. God has put so much in you. He has invested so much in us, all of us who are still walking this earth. He has invested so much in us. Do you acknowledge His role in your life? Do you acknowledge His role in your ability? When you hit another milestone, do you see God in that milestone? If you have not been seeing God in your milestones, something is wrong. And this is not to make you feel bad or guilty. It's a call to go back to your drawing board. It's a call to spend time and think. Have you been giving God His glory, or have you been hoarding it for yourself? You need to see where that line is according to the word and give Him glory that He deserves. He is deserving of this glory, right? And my final question to you, how are you stewarding the gifts that God has given you? It's a question to you as it has been a question to me. Am I stewarding this gift well? And sometimes these gifts are timed. And I wanted to share that before, I conclude this video. One thing that we don't always realize is that there's a time to certain gifts, just like there's a time to our breath. There's a time, and let's say in relationships, for instance, you may have a friend, you're not always going to be friends. Seasons will change. But while you're in that friendship, how are you stewarding the friendship? You have your kids for a certain time before they go off on their own. How are you stewarding the time that you have with them? Right? You have a business, you're involved in somebody's business. You work for someone, you're on the clock. How are you stewarding your time on that job? You're in a church. How are you stewarding your time at that church? So I'm going to leave you with this. And don't forget, Lead Me Past These Lies is available. You can get it online. You can go to my site, which is scrolling beneath, BeardedAfraid.com. Sign up for the newsletter so you know whatever's going on with me, with my books, and my events. All right. God bless you. And don't forget, subscribe and drop a comment.